In the 1960s that I was in San Antonio, the movement had just started in the 60s. So I knew that there was something going on about the raza. La Raza Unida started, LULAC started during those years. I never joined them, but I heard something about them, that they were fighting for their rights, equal rights. We needed somebody in government. I joined the service and forgot about those things about Chicano and what the Texas Rangers were doing. It was, what do you call it, physical emotion that was going on in Texas, where I would hear my mom said, "Oh, look, on the paper, they found so many in a tree hanging, Mexicanos," and I couldn't believe it, you know. So I let it go, joined the service, the Air Force, went to Vietnam 3.5 years, came back to Davis Mountain. But even in the service, I noticed that there were some Anglo officers, majors. I was a supervisor for disaster preparedness, and I heard that another supervisor was coming, but of more of a rank than what I was, and he was black. Going by a certain office, I heard my supervisor and his friend identify, "Hey, we have a Negro coming in, a black guy." And I couldn't understand. I said, wait, I'm going back to here. I'm sorry, but I'm going to hear this. "Yeah, we got a black supervisor coming. He's a Negro." And I didn't say anything, you know. I went on. I said, maybe they're talking about something different. Sure enough, a week later, a black supervisor came. His name was James. And he was okay, friendly and everything. About a week later, he came to me, but he was crying. I said, "Hey, what's the matter?" And he says, "I don't think they want me here. I'm leaving." Then I started wondering about racism. And nothing was ever done as far as the officers. The black supervisor couldn't stand being there, and he requested to go somewhere else. And I felt bad for him. I did tell, not customer service, but anyway, an agency that takes care of problems like social actions. Social actions said, "Well, there's nothing we can do. He's gone." I say, "Yeah, but this is what happened." "Well, there's nothing we can do. He's gone, and you just continue being the supervisor too." I learned that nothing was done. I retired from the service, and with what I knew, I met my wife, had my children, and moved to this house, and everything was fine until I started hearing that some individual near the neighborhood went by real slow with a car, and the dogs were my dogs were going like crazy following the car, but they were also getting hurt because the guy kept going forward and then backwards and then forward again, and the dogs were trampling over each other trying to, well, just follow the car, and his dogs were just in the front seat or the back seat just looking out, barking. And one time he did swing by, and I identified him. "Hey, quit that! You're making my dogs get hurt." And later on he comes by again, but a little bit faster. And after that, he came by, but I said, I'm tired of it. I'm not going to let anybody know about this. I'll just keep it hushed and watch my dogs, make sure they don't get hurt. You know, like when they run and then they come together and they hit each other and get hurt, they're limping for 3-4 weeks. And then my grandson got into it with him, but my cameras recorded some of the action. And that's when I said, "Gosh, is this ever going to stop?" And about a week and a half, 2 weeks later, a bullet rings through my window as we were watching TV. I got angry because that bullet could have hit me or could have hit my son, who was also watching TV. No, called the police, showed them the camera, backed everything up. They couldn't find who it was, but it was a white truck that went by. And one other individual that we thought might be it, but nothing was ever done because nobody was ever seen shooting. And that was it. But I taught my daughter, my granddaughters. Once we joined Brown Berets, my daughter became the commander. And I made sure that before they went into working with the public, that they knew how to defend themselves, how to fight. And I did show them how to shoot. They're real good at it, you know, with a pistol. But mostly how to defend themselves and to make sure that they are never afraid of anyone. No one is above the law, and it's the law that will take care of us. Just follow the rule, do what you have to do, but don't break the law. Let somebody else handle the bad situation if we have one. At this time, I guess, if there's any questions.
Well, sir, after that last incident, has there been any more?
Just a bullet that was shot, and that was it. However, we used to pass by that house, and then since they know my car, I don't go by it no more. You know, I mean, by that house no more, that street.
Okay, so
just to make sure.
So they didn't actually live down the street. They lived on another street.
2 streets down.
Mm-hmm.
And
do they still live there?
yeah, they still live there. Yeah.
All right.
And can I ask a question? How did you feel after you were questioned by the police? Did you feel like they helped, or how did you feel?
I felt that they did their best because they did measure like where it might have come from on the other side of the medium, you know, like laser type thing. But we couldn't find who it was. We did see on the cameras 2 guys go by, and then later on 1 guy goes by, and then a neighbor that was in the area of his house, and then a white truck that went by. So it was like, it's hard to tell. But they did their best, and I guess since that happened, and even before that here in Tucson, an elderly man was watering the lawn, the yard, his own yard, and he got shot at and got killed.